When looking at all the big reveals that happened in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, one of the biggest ones of all time besides Circus Baby and Springtrap had to be Michael Afton. Now look, man, if I was surprised just like you, Michael Afton getting a full-on movie role is kind of crazy if you think about it, man. There was no real teaser, no real bring up. He kind of just came out of nowhere. You saw this security guard that happened at the beginning of the movie and you're like, oh, who's this guy? And then it ended up being Michael Afton, man. Pretty crazy to see the big turn that Michael Afton had in the movie rather in the game. In the game, we know he's the main character. He's trying to avenge everything that his dad did, from Sister Location, Five Nights at Freddy's 3. He's trying to do everything he can to avenge his dad in the movie, but in the game, he's trying to fight everything that his dad did. And we're going to talk about it today. What could Michael Afton's role be in the future of the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise in the movieverse? We know he did escape that end scene because, we saw his badge there and that was it. He was gone. He was out of there. So clearly he's still alive, and his motive for Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is really different because what I think is going to happen in Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Let's get into it. So Michael Afton in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, he is the son, and what his goal is he wants to keep his dad's legacy alive. He wants to keep the animatronics around. He wants to keep, what he was doing of, being this guy that ran Five Nights at Freddy's. He wanted to be that guy, and we see Vanessa as the opposite. Vanessa wants to escape it and be her own thing, etc., etc. So we see Michael Afton's motive. He was the one that kind of let Charlotte out. He was kind of the ones controlling the toy animatronics. He was the one, with Charlotte as well, trying to get her revenge and things like that. Charlotte's motivation is she wants to destroy and, get rid of all the adults. Michael Afton's motive is to continue to terrorize everyone around there and continue to be like this bad guy in the movie scene. But, Mike Schmidt and Abby get there. He gets clocked. He leaves his badge. He gets whacked in the face and he's gone. So what I think is going to happen in FNAF 3, it's going to be really interesting, man. We have the Springtrap asset. We have Vanessa being the puppet. We have Charlotte, Henry, Emily. We have the whole spill of exactly what can happen. And it's really interesting to see what exactly they're going to do with Michael Afton. I do believe that Michael Afton at the end when he confronts Springtrap, because what we were thinking is that it's going to be Mike Schmidt versus Springtrap final battle, but what could they possibly lead to? Like in the games, it's going to be Michael Afton versus his dad, but in the movieverse we know he's on his dad's side, not like in the game. So what I think is probably going to happen is that it's going to be a final battle between Henry, Emily, and Mike Schmidt and Abby versus Vanessa, Charlotte, Michael Afton, and Springtrap. We obviously know Vanessa's not inherently a bad person. We know Vanessa is being used as like a ship and a tool for the puppet to continue to strike Henry, Emily, and Mike Schmidt and stuff like that. But Michael Afton's role is going to be really interesting. I do think that eventually he might get redeemed. He might kind of break through and really see what William Afton is doing, being a bad guy, etc. and stuff like that. So I do think eventually him and Vanessa will switch over to Team Mike and Abby. But I do think if the conclusion of Five Nights at Freddy's 3 is going to be, hey, Henry, Emily, Mike Schmidt are going to light the place on fire. They're going to burn Charlotte, Vanessa, Michael Afton, and William Afton. I do think Michael Afton will be a part of that. I do think he will be in the fire as well with everyone else because that's what it lines up with the games. He was in there. Henry, Emily lit the place on fire with Charlotte, with Baby, with Springtrap, with all of them. But his build-up in the movie is going to be really interesting, man. I'm trying to really think to connect the dots because, with someone like Circus Baby and Vanessa, you can kind of connect the dots there and stuff like that. William Afton and Springtrap. There's a few routes they can go with Michael Afton. They either can make him like a sidekick villain to his dad, William Afton. So it's going to be Michael Afton and Springtrap terrorizing everyone, trying to, continue the legacy and stuff like that with Charlotte and the puppet. And they can probably fight the puppet. Maybe William Afton doesn't want to deal with the puppet as well. The puppet also was one of his first victims, Charlotte, and he doesn't want to deal with him. So it's going to be, it might be father, daughter, and son versus Mike Schmidt and Henry, Emily. And we have the puppet versus Michael Afton and William Afton, all on the same team versus Mike Schmidt and Henry, Emily. And with Michael Afton's character, I don't think he's going to be like the main guy in Five Nights at Freddy's 3. If they wanted to, they probably can, throw Mike Schmidt to the side and make it like an Afton versus Afton scenario like they did in the games. Michael Afton's going to go find his dad, which I do think that is going to be a key line in the game because we see after, Sister Location, Father, it's me, Michael, I did it. They didn't recognize me at first and then they thought I was you exactly from Sister Location. I'm going to come find you. I'm not going to lie, if they pull that line in the Five Nights at Freddy's 3 movie, that will be sick. I'm going to come find you and he's going to go to Fazbear Frights and try to find William Afton. That will be kind of crazy. I'm not going to lie because that's exactly from Sister Location. That's exactly what they did in Sister Location. That's one line they can do that. Maybe, maybe Michael Afton's role is to kind of like get Springtrap alive, because we know Five Nights at Freddy's 3, Fazbear Frights, Springtrap will be in the back room. He will be just chilling there, animatronic. He is alive, but he will be in the back room kind of just chilling, doing his own thing. And maybe Michael Afton's whole goal is to go to Fazbear Frights and find his dad. I'm going to come find you. I'm going to come. They didn't recognize me, stuff like that. Maybe that's his role. Maybe he says in the movie, I'm going to come find you at the very beginning of the movie. And his goal in the movie is to go find William Afton at Fazbear Frights while Mike Schmidt is trying to avoid the puppet, and Vanessa and Henry Emily is there to help him out as well with other animatronics, what exactly they're going to do. It's really interesting, man. There's a lot of characters in Five Nights at Freddy's 3. We got Charlotte, we got Vanessa, we got Henry Emily, we got William Afton, which is going to be the key villain for Five Nights at Freddy's 3. We know that. He is the key. He's been the whole villain the entire time. Then we have Henry Emily and Mike Schmidt and then Michael Afton. So it's like, who's going to get them? Who's going to take a back seat? Who's going to be the main villain? Which obviously it has to be Matthew Lillard as Springtrap. Like, come on. There's no shot they don't make that third movie all about him, man. Side note, Matthew Lillard's Springtrap, that is going to be one of the best adaptations we see of Springtrap, man. He is a tremendous character, but I'm really interested to see what exactly they're going to do with Michael Afton and Springtrap all being in the same movie. Like I said, there's a lot of ways they can go with it. They can make him kind of like the sidekick. They can make him the real protagonist versus Springtrap, you know, Michael Afton versus Springtrap, William Afton versus Michael Afton, the father and son, with Vanessa being there on the side. I don't know, man. I really don't know. Or he can be the scavenger, where his goal in Five Nights at Freddy's 3 is going to be to look for William Afton at Fazbear Frights. You know, they didn't recognize me, but I'm going to come find you, like they did at Sister Location. There's a lot of avenues they can go, man. It's so exciting what exactly they're going to do with Michael Afton. So to put a conclusion on it, many ways they can go with Michael Afton. He is alive. He will be back for Five Nights at Freddy's 3. I think he is going to be the one whose goal is to go find Springtrap and free him from Fazbear Frights. As we know in the games, Father, it's me, Michael. They didn't recognize me. I'm going to come find you. That is going to be his main goal at Five Nights at Freddy's 3. He is going to go and try to find his dad at Fazbear Frights. His main goal is to going to be salvage all the animatronics like he did with Charlotte, to avoid all the animatronics as well. So that's going to be his main role. And I think at the end, he will be burned down as well with William Afton, Charlotte, and Vanessa. Henry Emily and Mike Schmidt are going to light the place on fire. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think his goal, he's going to have a big role, but he's not going to have a lot of screen time in the sense of like a lot of his stuff will be off screen. He's going to try to look for William Afton and stuff like that. But yeah, man, what do you guys think is going to happen with Michael Afton? Do you think he's going to be a sidekick villain? Do you think he's going to be a sidekick hero? Do you think he's going to be the main hero at the end of the day? Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments, man. And if you guys can, hit that like button, hit that sub button. We're posting new movie videos, FNAF, movie related stuff every day. Hit that like button, hit that sub button. Amen. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hit that like button, hit that sub button. I'll see you.